Hello everyone, welcome back again to our channel, and today I would like to share some tips on how to be a good wife. So to all the mamshies out there, this video is for you. So being a good wife is not easy, even if you have a near perfect spouse. So to be a good wife, you have to be able to communicate effectively, to keep your romance alive, and of course, to be your spouse's best friend while maintaining your own identity. So, if you want to know how to do it, first, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more updates. So there are 4 methods to be a good wife. Number 1, being a good companion. So, being a good companion, meet your spouse's needs without compromising your own. So, if they need more sex, then open your mind to the possibilities. If they need time with friends or time to pursue a hobby, then don't be possessive. They will be happier and they will be grateful to you for your respect. You should meet their needs, or at least some of them, without doing anything that feels uncomfortable to you. Next, be your spouse's best friend. Develop true intimacy and unconditional acceptance. Demonstrate a willingness to be vulnerable and be confident that your relationship can withstand conflict. Enjoy your shared history and your inside jokes. Forward them articles you know that they will find interesting, or just sit with them in companionable silence. Even when your silence will say volumes, when your marriage is strengthened by the true friendship. Being a good companion, create shared dreams. Never lose sight of the dreams that you share. Whether your dreams include retiring to a warm climate or taking a trip abroad for your 20th anniversary, embrace your dreams. Talk about them and take steps to make them happy. If you and your spouse dreams don't intersect, then you will be creating a rift as you both move farther towards your goals. Or if one of you doesn't get what he or she wants. Maintain your own identity. Make sure you still have a fun and interesting life. If your spouse left tomorrow, would you still have your own friends that you see at least once a month? Hobby clubs you go to or sports that you play? If not, your spouse will always be working to fill a void they cannot fill and will feel inadequate. When you're fulfilled as an individual, then you have a lot more to bring to the relationship. You will be much better companion if you can draw from your own interest, experiences, and insights. Next, work together to manage stress. Men and women deal with stress all day and every day. Do what you can to help each other deal with the stress of everyday life, making sure that you are able to cope with your own stresses will take pressure off of your marriage. If one of you is chronically stressed out while the other doesn't understand why, then you'll have a problem. Help your spouse manage their stress by talking about it and treating them with extra care when they have had a rough day, instead of making them feel worse by being angry that they are tired or withdrawn. When you're stressed, let your spouse know how you're feeling so they can pick up the slack around the house and help you out. Second method, communicating effectively. So, how can you communicate effectively? First, express your feelings and needs effectively. Your spouse doesn't have clairvoyant powers. If you want something, ask. If something is wrong, say so. Don't drop hints or figure they will come around, or you'll never get anything done. If you want to be able to express how you feel, you should be able to speak with a positive tone and to listen to what your spouse says instead of being accusatory. Pick your battles. Some issues are worth fighting about, and some are not. If you spend all of your time nitpicking your spouse about minor problems that don't really matter, then they are not going to listen to you when major issues come up. So avoid criticizing your spouse without doing it constructively. Remember to try to be calm and rational. A strong emotions can easily turn a discussion into an argument. If you criticize every little thing they do, then they will quickly tune you out. You should praise your spouse for the things they do right much more than you argue with them about things that they do wrong. This will make them much more likely to listen to you and much happier to be around you. Next, be understanding when you discuss an issue with your spouse. Fight right. Don't let anger take over because it may cause you to say things that you will regret later. Even when you don't agree with your spouse, you need to respect their opinion and their viewpoint. To be a good wife, you need to understand that you may never agree on certain issues. No couple has an identical set of morals and beliefs, which means that both of you will need to learn to cope with occasions where you just can't resolve your opinions. So, talk to them at the right time, and when you're wrong, admit it. Next, talk to your spouse, not about them. Never talk to your friends or your family and say negative things about your spouse if you're not communicating with them first. Talking about your spouse behind their back is disloyal. When you get married, your first loyalty is to your partner, not to your birth family or your social group. Complaining about your spouse to your friends and family will not only solve any of your problems, but it will also make them view your relationship in a more negative light. Your friends and family may think they know what's best for you, but they don't know your relationship as well as you do and may unintentionally give you bad advice. Third method, being accepting. Being accepting, one, you must have realistic expectations. Neither of you are perfect. Unmet expectations tend to frustrate everyone. If your expectations are truly high or unrealistic, then you need to set standards that are obtainable. For example, it is unfair to expect lavish possessions and have the love of your life home for every meal. If you want more together time, then be prepared to have that desire fulfilled at some expense. Remember that no relationship is perfect. If you expect to get along with your spouse and be happy 100% of the time, it won't work out for you. Have realistic financial expectations too. Maybe you and your spouse are not as far along financially as you hope you'd be 5 or 10 years down the line. That's perfectly normal. Work on appreciating what you do have instead of expecting more. Don't try to change your spouse. Accept them as they are and let them know that you would never want them to change in any way for you. They have so much to offer you if only you give them the space to be themselves. They are a growing individual, just like you are. Love them for who they are, and they will love you unconditionally in return. Next, roll with the changes. You will experience crises together, from the loss of a job to the death of a parent. You may suffer financial hardship. or you may find yourselves unexpectedly wealthy and unsure of what to do. Your marriage can survive the changes if you're willing to keep communicating and being flexible. Remember that whatever changes happen, you and your spouse are dealing with them as a team, not as people on the opposite side of a battle. Roll with the changes in your love life. Though you and your spouse may still be passionately in love, don't get disappointed if they don't want to make love every night or to kiss you 20 times a day like they did when you were newlyweds. You can still keep your love strong without wanting it to be exactly the same as it was when you first got married. Next, accept that having children changes a relationship. You and your spouse relationship will undoubtedly change and evolve once you bring kids into the equation. This doesn't mean it will change for the worse, but it will mean that you will be spending a lot of your free time focusing on your kids instead of each other. Accept that this will change your relationship and work to make it thrive in new ways. To help this transition, work together to spend time with the kids when you can instead of isolating yourselves by taking turns. Find new fun activities that the whole family can do together to help you and your spouse stay strong as you raise your kids. Next, accept your mutual mistakes. If you want to be accepting as a wife, then you have to be able to accept your spouse's mistakes and to sincerely respect their apologies for doing something wrong. If you hold a grudge too long, you won't be able to appreciate the good things about your spouse. So it's best to accept their apologies, talk about how they won't upset you again in this way, and move forward instead of harboring resentment about the past. So, accept your own mistakes too. Don't be so focused on being the perfect wife that you can't admit when you are wrong. Admitting when you are wrong will help both of you grow as a couple. So, the last method, method number 4, making time for romance. How to make time for romance? First, make time for date night. No matter how busy you are, how stressful your job is, or how many kids you have, you need to make time to spend a romantic evening with your spouse. If you don't have kids, aim for once a week, and if you do, try to squeeze in a date once every 2 weeks or as often as you can. Though it may sound corny, dressing up and going somewhere nice and special can renew your romantic connection and give you a breath of fresh air away from your home. Then, schedule sex into your life. You may feel that sex has to be spontaneous, but if you don't add it to your schedule, you may start to neglect it. So, without the frequent intimate acceptance and love that comes from your love making, a person can become dissatisfied, grumpy, and ultimately suffer from feelings of rejection and even anger. Remember, lovemaking gives an intimacy and physical release that is vital for both of you. In most relationships, each partner has different needs and expectations regarding the frequency of physical intimacy. Find a happy medium with your spouse. Couples who feel responsible for meeting the needs of their lover tend to be happier in their relationship. Next, kiss passionately. After a while, you make do with a peck on the lips instead of with full on French kissing. Make it a goal to share at least one 6-second kiss with your spouse each day or every morning and night, even if you don't have more time for intimacy than that. You don't want your spouse to think that kissing you is no different than dutifully kissing their children. The passion should still be present in your kisses. When you do make love, don't go straight to sex. Make sure that kissing is an integral part of your lovemaking. It's great for play. Then, last, make your bedroom a sanctuary for sex. So, how? Ban television sets, laptops, and work related materials. Your bedroom should be dedicated to sleep and sex. If you bring in your children's toys and nightly news or the extra work you have to do, then you won't think of your bedroom as a special and sacred place. Maintaining an area of the house for sleep and sex will make your love and love making feel more special and vital to your relationship. You and your spouse can work together to remove any irrelevant items from your bedroom. This can also turn into a fun couples activity. That's all guys. I hope you like this video and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more new video updates. Thank you and God bless.